Hi, welcome to Stream Management channel. Today we are going to talk about how to handle e-campaign notices which many of us are receiving from the income tax department. So what is e-campaigning? E-campaigning is an initiative which has been done by the income tax department in order to collect feedback from the SSCs. I would say this is a very positive and a proactive approach taken by the tax department to seek feedback on different transactions, one in case if they have queries about them. So why this even arises? Because most often we will be doing high value transactions like depositing money in the savings bank accounts or purchasing some of these properties or paying credit card bills beyond 1 lakh. So when this high value transaction has been done, tax department wants to really verify if the transaction is a valid one, if the tax trail and the cash trail pertains to you as an SSC or not. And I would say this is a proactive mechanism to avoid subsequent problems when they are verifying the ITR returns. I would show it to you in detail how to handle an e-campaign notice from the tax department from the Income Tax of India website. Do watch this in detail because I will also give you steps how to handle even the modifications in case if you want to change your response to the tax notice after subsequent verification on your side as well.
Log into the Income Tax India portal, click on Pending Actions, and it will take you to the section called Compliance Portal. This is the place where you would see all the notices related to the e-campaigning. Click on Proceed. This will take you to a different page, which will list down all the transactions relevant for e-campaign notices, e-verification notices, and even other notices than e-verification. Click on the e-campaign section. So as I was mentioning about the e-campaigning, all the notices related to the e-campaign which has been initiated by the income tax department would be listed here. Click on that, it will take you to a different page which will has two sections. One is a general information section where the PAN card number and then the details of the SSC would be there. Apart from that, there is another section called e-campaign list, which will list all the e-campaign notices received by the SSC as part of the assessment year. It has a different sections. One is for DIN, stands for document identification number, and then the type of transaction, whether it's high value transaction or whether it can be a significant financial transaction, or in case of non-filers also, the e-campaign would be sending notices, and the description would describe the details pertaining to the type of the transaction and the date on which this has been issued and so on. So for the purpose of this demo, I have created a detailed screenshot sections as well, which will give you a good overview. Mentioning here is another e-campaign list notice, which was been issued to a non-filer with the description indicating that the notice has been issued because there is a non-filing of the tax return and the overall status is shown as pending. That means that the no response has been submitted. Even there is no primary response, as well as there is no feedback on the AIS statement as well. So click on this pending status. It will take you to the section where the details relevant for the SSC, whether it's an email notification, then the email also would be sent to the SSC. And there can also be cases where SMS would be sent to this number pertaining to the assessment year to the same SSC. And then when you click on the return, it will take you to the response selection section. You can select the specific response, whether the return has been filed. In case not, then whether you are not liable to file the return. And then in case if you're liable to file the return but not yet filed. Yeah, so these specific options can be selected. And the reason pertaining to that, you have to select here, depending upon the type of the response you have given, and then click on submit. So this is the primary response, which will take you to this specific screen saying that the response has been technically submitted. So this is a success screen. So if you see, the primary response here has been submitted. So as I was mentioning, there were different types of e-campaign notices, high value transactions, significant transactions, or non-filers as well. So here for these two things, I have submitted for the specific client of mine where the assessment year has been pointed out as assessment year 2020 to 23. As response has been submitted, it's submitted successfully. You would see the overall status as submitted. But in case of non-filers, the return description is partially submitted because only the primary primary response has been submitted so far, and there was something pending to give some feedback on the annual information statement. Of course, you can also view the response submitted by click on view response. Then it will take you to the screen with capturing the question and the answer whatever we have provided, and also the reason for which this answer has been selected. That is for the primary response. And then when you go back to the eCampaign list for the specific filer, it is shown as partially submitted. Click on this partially submitted screen. Of course, you can also check in the activity history to download this activity and then verify later. But as I was mentioning, the feedback on the annual information statement is still pending. It is shown in the pending status. You can click on view feedback on the AIS screen. It will take you to the annual information statement screen. Click on proceed. When you click on the proceed section, this will open up the details regarding the specific transaction in the whether it is a TDS information section, whether it's a specific financial significant financial transaction. It will be stated here under SFT, which stands for Statement of Financial Transactions. And you open up this section, you would see on the left hand side there is an screen with a circle, and this is highlighted to say that your response would be expected in the following transactions. So you have to click on this expected response and give your feedback. Whereas in case of optional responses, the specific option is grayed out, so you don't need to provide actively response on those items. When you select that expected response, it will take you to the choose the feedback type. You can choose whether the information is correct, whether the income is not taxable, then you can say the income is not taxable, or the information is completely not correct, then you can mention that. You can also mention that the select information sections like the information is duplicate, and of course you can content that. So by giving this feedback, the income tax authorities can correct that specific entry in the annual information statement. And when you click on select and submit, it will take you to the completion of the activity. I was mentioning earlier, once you have provided all the details here, the overall status would change to submitted. Currently it is still shown as pending because some of this background process has been still running. I want to show an additional thing here. In case if you have provided the feedback in the annual information statement, as I was mentioning earlier, and but if you want to change or modify the feedback whatever you have given, so what you need to do is that you expand this entry in the annual information statement, and then scroll to the specific section where you have given feedback earlier. I have given here the feedback that information is correct. You can click on that, and then you can click on modify feedback. So by doing this, you can modify the earlier feedback, whatever you have given. Here, you need to cite the reason for modification if the details are incorrect or earlier feedback was provided by mistake, and then update the remarks and select the new feedback type, whatever you want to give it for. Let's say you want to say that the information is not fully correct or the income is not taxable, whatever it is. And then once you select this reason and then the modification reason, then the submit button will be highlighted. You can click on the submit and then save it. So like that, you can modify the feedback as well. That will help you to correct the data whatever is available in the annual information statement completely, so that you would be able to answer the campaign notice with full details and it will get answered.
Hope this information is quite helpful to you, and you would be able to use this information to maximum of your benefit. In case if you like this video, do hit a like button, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends as well. Thank you so much.